Good morning. We've just left Jackson, Wyoming, and we're now on our way back home. We're going to be driving I think we have about an 8.5 hour day today. Going to be driving and staying in St. George tonight, and that will be our last stop before we head home. So this will probably be the last video of the vlog because after St. George it's just going to be a lot of Southern California traffic, and nobody enjoys watching that. We're just going to kind of nip into Idaho a little bit, so I think we're going to stop there and probably go for a walk with Strider somewhere. Pretty boring day. So back on the road. So when we were in Jackson, they have a lot of like huckleberry stuff. Like I guess that area is really known for their huckleberry, same in like Montana. When we were in one of the shops, I found this one. Willy Wallaby huckleberry flavor. So yeah, I really love the Willy Wallaby. I don't even know if these are, like, are these? I don't even know if they're Australian. They look like they're Australian. They market it like it is maybe. But these are like the best licorice and it's huckleberry flavor, so yay. So they kind of taste a little bit like a mix between a blueberry and, I don't even know, blueberry and a strawberry or something? Yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of the two. Absolutely delicious. Good evening from St. George, Utah. We just checked into our hotel. I know I didn't film very much today. There really wasn't actually that much to film. We were just driving. We decided not to stop in Idaho because there really wasn't anything that was like close to the road that we could do, but I find it insane that we started this morning in Wyoming with like these snow-capped mountains all around us, and it was like 45 degrees, like we were wearing jackets, and you know, we just drove about 8.5 hours, and now we're essentially in like Red Rock country in the desert. It's probably about 90 degrees now. Yeah, this country is just beautiful, and it's nice to be reminded of it sometimes. And look at this beautiful sunset behind me. It's past 9 o'clock now, so I think we're just gonna go and crash and kind of get ready to drive home tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to film tomorrow. There's nothing exciting about getting into Southern California and being in traffic. It's just going to be, yeah, a lot of traffic, which I'm not looking forward to because we haven't encountered much of that on this trip. I guess this is it. So one of my favorite things to do after a trip or vacation is to kind of do a top things list. For me, it's just a really nice way to kind of go back and reflect on my favorite moments, because I find that when you're in the moment of traveling, it is a little bit hard to do that. So here are my top things or my favorite moments from this series. So for the best wildlife, we did end up seeing a lot of wildlife on this trip. I want to be really cool and be like, oh, the grizzly bear was amazing, or the black bear. Obviously bears were amazing to see, but my favorite thing was the prairie dogs. I could not stop filming them. Like, I swear I have hours of footage of them just kind of being in and out of their holes. They had their little babies with them and running around, and Dominic kept being like, I'm sure you have enough footage of the prairie dogs. And I was just like, I don't think I do. I sat out at our campsite in the Badlands in the morning with my telephoto lens, and I just took so many videos of them just running around and kind of living their life. And every time we went to another place in the Badlands that had like a prairie dog outlook, I was like, we need to stop and get some more footage of prairie dogs. So yeah, I think those were definitely my favorite. So we didn't stay at a lot of cities in this trip. Obviously, the main part was to enjoy national parks and beautiful scenery and nature. But of the cities that we did stay in, my favorite was Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's just got a really cool vibe, lots of art, lots of nice restaurants, nice kind of southwestern desert and Native American kind of vibes. Really, really pretty, and I enjoyed Santa Fe a lot. So the big one is what was the best national park that we went to. We went to 4 national parks on this trip: Rocky Mountain National Park, Badlands, Yellowstone, and Grand Tetons. For me, my favorite park was actually Grand Tetons. I think it's just because I really love snow-capped mountains, and the one day that we went and did a long hike, we saw so much wildlife that day. That was probably one of the best hikes I've ever been on, even though it was a little busy on that trail. Yeah, every single day we would drive by the mountain range of the Tetons to get to our campsite, because our campsite was on the southern border of the national park. And so every day we drove by the Tetons and got to see that view, and I never got sick of it. I have so many videos of just driving past the mountain range, so I think I'm just a sucker for mountains, apparently. So my favorite campsite of this trip was actually one that we never intended on staying in. We were supposed to stay in another one, but realizing the morning that we were leaving to go there, it was a hike-in only campsite. So we actually ended up finding some BLM land in New Mexico, and it happened to be along the Rio Grande. It was a little stressful to get there because it was not really clear where the camping was. There was a bike lane, so it was a little bit stressful just to kind of find where we were supposed to be camping. And we thought that the weather was going to be really extreme because it was along the Rio Grande at elevation, and the clouds coming in were pretty intense, and so we thought we were going to be in for like a really stormy night. It was going to be really, really windy because we were on this high elevation above the Rio Grande, and it actually ended up being such a quiet night. The stars were absolutely beautiful out there, and the best thing was that we woke up to some bighorn sheep right outside the tent as soon as I woke up, so that was definitely my favorite campsite. So even though I've been to Colorado and I've driven around Colorado a lot, this is still one of my favorite states to drive through. It's just got so many diverse landscapes. You've got mountains, you've got the plains in the east and prairies, and then you've also got even like the Great Sand Dunes, and you've even got some red rocks in the west. It's just such a diverse state, and I still enjoy driving through it. Obviously, we were camping a lot of this trip, so we didn't go out to restaurants a lot. The only time we could really go out to restaurants is when we stayed in a hotel, because then we could leave Strider in the hotel while we ate dinner. I think the best food that I had was in Jackson. I had a really, really nice veggie burger the night that we got there, and then the night that we were leaving, we went to a pizza place, and the pizza was really, really nice. I will say though, the dessert that I had in Santa Fe, it was the prickly pear, like sorbet ice cream. Oh my gosh, I still think about that. The ice cream was so nice, so refreshing. And because we were on the road, we ate a lot of fast food. We got really sick of fast food really, really quickly, but we discovered that Wendy's actually has very, very good salads, so it was kind of a nice break from, you know, all the unhealthy stuff. Just wanted to say a huge thank you for all your support on this series and on my channel so far. This whole trip was kind of just a way for me to hopefully get better with filming, hopefully get better with editing, and I hope that that has shown through. If you have not already, it really would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe, because I've got some other videos coming out that are similar to this and some that are not similar to this. And if you haven't already, you can follow me on social, where I post a little bit more of my day-to-day life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.